Hello my XIM community and welcome back to the channel. If you're new or just tuning in for the first time, guys, the whole goal of my XIM Apex configurations are to allow you to have the closest to a PC mouse and keyboard experience on your console with the game that doesn't allow for a mouse and keyboard. Um, Keep in mind, we are still emulating an analog signal, so there is always going to be things that we cannot do that PC can, but to compensate for that, we do got aim assist. So let's jump right into the configuration. As you can see in the title, guys, this was benchmark at 1000 Hertz polling rate and 25,000 DPI. We're going to jump into the in-game settings first, and then we'll touch the XIM manager settings here. So keeping in mind that this is a 25,000 DPI setting, some of you might be going, whoa, 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 DDM, my mouse only goes to 3200 or to 12,000 DPI. Don't worry, like always, I got you guys covered. In the description below, I'll have the calculations to adjust sensitivity and smoothing depending on what DPI you're on. So for our in-game settings, this is going to be clear across every DPI that you're using. And yes, I did go against what XIM Central suggested because I found the sensation of their settings to be nothing like a PC mouse and keyboard experience. Well, maybe the keyboard portion was because you're pressing buttons, but the mouse sensation, it was not good. Like the micro movement was just everywhere, and you had to rely on the aim assist rather than actually having the aim assist you. But anyways, I digress, guys. So, like pretty much every XIM configuration, the in-game sensitivity is going to be capped out. Our acceleration is going to be at 0. And if you've noticed, in every game that has acceleration, we want that like as low as possible or non-existent, because acceleration robs you of a one-to-one. Most PC gamers, because on PC you actually have a mouse acceleration option, in Windows and in most games, have that shit turn off for exactly that reason. You are robbing yourself of precision and the ability to gain muscle memory by eliminating a one-to-one. The same thing can be said for ballistic editors. The most important thing to note here is our inner and outer dead zone. XIM suggested an outer dead zone of 0 with a inner dead zone of 0.12. Again, like I said, I tried this. Micro aiming was out of control, and I just didn't appreciate how it felt in my hands. So we are going to go with an inner and outer dead zone of 0.17. And this will be compensated with our XIM manager settings, which we're about to go into now. So yes, as you can see, I have the sensitivity set to 2.30. Inherit for ADS will be on, keep that in mind. And again, no ballistic editor. Default synchronization is ideal here if you are playing at a 60 FPS on console. You can go to synchronize off if you want a slightly weaker aim assist, but I found it unnecessary in this game. It wasn't exactly like how the Apex configuration was. So smoothing is going to be at 15 because we are at 25,000 DPI. If you're running a DPI of about 12 to 16, you can get away with being at 10. Anything lower than 12, and you're looking at anywhere from 10 to 5, maybe even 3 if you're on the low end of 3200 DPI. So to compensate our massive dead zones, we are going to have the boost set to 700. And this actually plays two roles here. One, to negate the dead zone that we had. Negate's a strong word. You're not actually negating. You're working with the dead zone that we have. And it will also allow for those small mouse movements to actually mimic a real mouse. Now, keep in mind, if you are trying to flick shots fast, you have essentially just flicked a thumbstick, which will get you nowhere. So keep that in mind. Like I stated at the beginning of the video, guys, we are emulating the analog sticks of the controller. We are literally taking this controller, rerouting its signal to a mouse and keyboard. For our simulate analog behavior, this is a very movement-oriented game. The main mechanic being you're moving through portals, getting to different periods or different areas on the map quite fast. And having simulate analog behavior too high can actually break you out of sprint animations unintentionally. So just be aware of that. After this, like I said, for our ADS settings, inherit is on. Everything is going to be the same as ADS because most of the ADS settings we're actually going to play with it in the game. If you want, let's say, like a slower moving ADS in comparison to your hip fire, you will drop the acceleration from 1.0 to 0.9. The zoom multiplier, excuse me, not the acceleration. After here, guys, I'm just going to give you a quick example of my button mapping, and if it looks familiar to you, if you're a follower of the channel and you've watched other configuration videos, yeah, this is pretty much my loadout. This is pretty much how I configure things most of the time. Button mapping for X, Y, and B and A are usually all the same thing. Same thing for your left and right clicks. I think the biggest thing I changed here was the right and left portal activation. I mapped those to the middle and forward click. So middle being your right and forward being your left. Same thing with the D-pad with F and G. F will close your left, G will close your right. Just trying to keep things simple as far as the button mapping goes. Guys, that pretty much sums it up. It wasn't an overly complicated configuration at the end of the day, but it did take time to perfect. So again, I apologize for that. But if you're watching, make sure to hit that like button if it helped. And once again, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the gameplay footage. It was just another ridiculously good game that I had here playing SWAT. Thanks so much again, guys. Catch you in the next one.
Double kill! Killing spree! Tied the leader! Lost the lead! Gained the lead! King Slayer! Gained the lead!